let's get into it. You just remembered that we have raid today. Yes. Which we will, given what we were like last week, will probably clear Halicarnassus. As long as people pay attention. But yeah, we'll probably do Halicarnassus and maybe X-Death. I don't think is necessarily that much harder, but X-Death will be the hardest one out of that tier. So might not clear X-Death. You've got over the Path of Exile update, which goes live at 9 tonight, so you forgot about the raid. Makes sense. Anyway, it's time to be an armorer. Yes. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were an armorer. Of course, I do know better. Until you craft something with that hammer of yours, you'll look like a babe with a rattle to me, and I've no intention of mothering you. Make no mistake. I mean to shape you into an artisan, however hard I have to pound. Man. You going for the Dommy Mommy vibes? Save your sweat for the forge, lass. Don't expect you to fashion full suits of plate on your first day. Just pay close attention to my instructions. Be diligent in your work, and the skill will come in due time. But let's be about your first lesson, shall we? I want you to take up your hammer and make me a bronze ingot. A mundane task, I grant you, but one which every armorer must master. Bronze, you see, is the most basic material of the craft, and bronze ingots are its building blocks. It is not the strongest of alloys, of course, but it is that very quality that makes bronze so easy to shape, and the metal of choice for a novice armorer. To forge your ingot, you'll need to procure 2 chunks, blah 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 blah. The ore can be purchased from the ice shard you'll have to find on your own. Well, you waiting for me to swing your arm for you, or may you have me swing my boot? Okay, she's not as nice. That's fine. That's fine. Oh. Wrong menu, that's why. Where's that bronze ingot I asked for? If you can't find the ore yourself, try speaking with the person over there. But, never mind, this is high quality, what the fuck? This isn't your first time with a hammer? Completed your first task, have you? Well then, let's have a look at this ingot. Oh, this is the sort of quality I can expect from you, is it? For a novice, this is excellent work. Excellent. Well done, After. The key to making good bronze is judging the ratio of copper to tin. With too much tin, the alloy becomes harder, but also more brittle. Not the sort of material you want protecting your vital organs. Lest you forget, quality is a matter of life and death in our craft. That's why we teach our initiates the ideal metallurgic composition of every item we forge. Not that all are quick to learn. There are some who seem destined to produce mediocre results, however painstakingly the processes are explained. Thank the builder, you're not one of them. I'm pleased to say your ingot would fetch a decent price in the markets. But do not let this first success make you complacent. A single bad helm will lose you more trust than 100 good ones will win. Because bad armor means dead men. It's not enough that your work be good. It must needs be consistently good. And achieving that consistency requires discipline and long hours of crafting the same item over and over, again and again. For you, this means a mountain of bronze ingots. Bronze ingots in your dreams, bronze ingots until the process is so ingrained you wake up and find that your pillow is an ingot you made in your sleep. When you feel you've learned all you can from forging bronze ingots, dig me out. I'll find you something else to craft. May the builder guide your hand. Ah, take it you're now intimate with every aspect of the bronze ingots production? Good, and you can assist us in a pressing matter. It seems one of our younger members, Swithin, accepted an order which he would struggle to fulfill in thrice the time he promised. While I'm tempted to let him squeal under the weight of his own ambition, the Guild is not in the habit of delivering late. Several veteran armourers have volunteered their services, but I'd also like you to assist in this matter. On the one hand, you'll be helping to spare the Guild unnecessary embarrassment, and on the other, you'll be deepening your understanding of the craft. The builder could not have planned it better. For your part in this endeavour, you are to craft 3 bronze hoplons. You'll need bronze plate and maple lumber to make the shields. While we're on the subject, how have you been acquiring your materials? The markets are a reliable source, but have you considered making an arrangement with a mine or a botanist? As you will have gleaned, the craft calls for a near constant supply of copper and tin, both of which are commonly mined in the region of Thanlan. Should your purse grow too light for comfort, there's little to stop you taking up a pickaxe yourself. For the time being, however, I want you to concentrate on honing your skills as an armourer. With the fundamentals under your belt, hoplons shouldn't prove too challenging, but do not fall into the trap of complacency. A poorly wrought shield is worse than no shield at all. Each piece you craft, however simple, must reflect the utmost attention to detail. Make the Guild proud. Just make all of them. And then I'll make some plates. And I think I can buy maple. I've done no planning for this. I won't lie, I've been kind of addicted to Palworld recently. Not even that I'm that far in it. Just I like number go up, and there's many ways that number go up in that game. Many ways. Alright, that's probably enough. So I need, what, 6? Yeah. You're gonna fucking love these shields. Impressive. You've managed to balance the conflicting requirements of sturdiness and portability, much as you balanced hardness and malleability in your first task. The bronze plate is securely fitted and should weather the most vicious blows without becoming dislodged. Except it's bronze, so it would just dent and tear. And, importantly, your work was swift and sure. Many an armourer has lost a sale due to late delivery, and rightly so. A customer's need for armour is invariably pressing, its absence like to be sorely felt. Given the stakes, a reputation for reliability can mean handsome profits, especially at a time when the maelstrom is seeking armourers to outfit its ever-expanding ranks. It is all we can do to keep pace with the Grand Company's orders for equipment. That's why every member of our guild must support the next, much as the warriors of Eld supported their fellows in the phalanx with their shields. Though you have but recently begun your training, a woman of your natural talents belongs on the front line. I think the time's come for you to learn the use of another weapon in the armourer's arsenal, specifically pliers. Take this pair and try using them in combination with your hammer. It'll feel strange at first, but persist and you'll find your work proceeds a damn sight more smoothly. When you think you've mastered the pliers, I'll want to see the results of your dedication. Until then. Just the lass I was hoping to see. I've a new initiate that's near exhausted my reserves of patience, and I think she'd benefit from seeing the results of a peer's dedication and skill. Specifically, yours. Her name's Grenay, and Builder help me, she's the most distracted, fumble-fingered craftswoman ever to lift a hammer. If she could but learn to forge the simplest of items without constant supervision, I'd consider it a rare victory. It's unfortunate Byrogot did not see fit to invest all of my armourers with your innate talent. But I suppose we must all start somewhere, and if I abandoned every initiate that was slow to grasp a technique, our guild would have a grand total of, what, 9 members? Mayhap 10. I jest, but it would be few enough for our clients in the Maelstrom to have shared breastplates. So, what say you? You need only craft a dozen sheets of bronze plate to supplement Grenay's own. When you're ready, I want you to deliver them to the lass in person. Mayhap your example will inspire her to take more care with her work. Okay. Keep pressing B. That means I do need to make more dough. Okay. Can't do that whilst I'm doing this, yeah. Oh well. Yeah, it's been nice taking a little bit of a break from Final Fantasy, to be honest. Especially given that the main thing I'm doing is just the continued grind for relics. But I noticed my roulettes were becoming more painful. So I've kind of been putting off doing the roulette for a bit. That should be enough. I've also been playing Diablo 3 with a friend, which that's also quite a fun game to just lose yourself in a bit of mindless violence. Try and farm some legendaries. What do you mean I only have 11? Oh, it's because one of them's high quality. Did I not hit lower quality? Oh no, it did hit search. Where is she? Oh, she's here. Hello. Oh, you must be after. Guildmaster told me you'd be... Wait, where'd I put my hammer? Oh, there it is. Sorry, what were you saying? Right, yeah. I'd be most grateful for the extra sheets of bronze. God, you craft these yourself? Oh, they're absolutely... Whoa. Nearly dropped them. No, I'm done, though. As I was saying, I can certainly see why the Forge Master speaks so highly of your work. The bronze is a perfect colour and thickness, so I assume you carefully measured out the amounts of tin and copper? I always add too much tin. Did you know metal can shatter? Well, I didn't. Truth be told, I've tended to put all my effort into making the armour itself, rather than bothering with the base materials. I mean, compared to hammering out glorious winged elms or ornate greaves, measuring out metals just seems so... trivial. But looking at your work, I'm beginning to wonder. Never realised how beautiful a simple sheet of bronze could be. With materials like this, just imagine the sturdy, shiny suits of armour one might create. Seems I've been putting the cart before the chocobo. From this moment onward, I swear to focus all my attention and care on the task at hand, even if the task at hand is forging bronze ingots. And what are you? Do you have any grand projects waiting for you on the anvil? I overheard some of the senior armourers boasting about the coin they made through tradecraft leaves. Might that be something you've considered? They say Tmokri over at the Drowned Wench is the one to talk to. That's where I'll be headed once I've improved my technique. Now where'd I put that hammer? So is it her hammer that we get as a reward for that? Because that's funny. If so. Actually, when's the one where I have to craft a improved thing? Where have you been? There's work to be done. I need to speak with another novice. A lass by the name of Derstwida? I was due a barber and buckler from her a few bells ago, but I find myself standing here with nary a nose guard. Lest you wonder, Derstwida is nothing like Renee. She's as dedicated to the craft as you are. I've never known her to miss a delivery. Something must be amiss, and I need to find out what. I'd go and ask her myself, but I fear my usual approach would do more harm than good. Lass might be built like a stack of ambles, but she flinches at the merest hint of criticism. That's why I've decided to assign you as Derstwida's supervisor for this job. I'm counting on you to sort this out. Pleasure to meet you, miss. Sorry, the Forge Master had to interrupt your work so you might assist me with mine. I do hope you're not angry. Don't know if I could endure another dressing down. As pathetic as it sounds, that's actually the reason my delivery's late. I just can't bring myself to work. I'm sorry. I should start from the beginning. A short while ago, I received a visit from an armourer by the name of Blandsteer. He's one of the old guard, true veteran of the guild. After but a single glance at the armour I'd made, he yelled at my work. Yelled that my work wasn't fit to cover a kobold's arse. Now I can't banish the scene from my mind. His face twisted in anger, those scornful words. Am I truly so talentless? The shame, it paralyses me. If he'd explained the flaws in my work, I might endeavour to correct them. I couldn't bring myself to speak to him, or to anyone else, for that matter. Not until now. Might you speak with Blandsteer on my behalf? I'd know the reason behind this reprimand. I always forget I can't jump over those. Sup, fucker? Aye, I'm Blandsteer. If you're looking for an armourer with skill and integrity, you found him. What you're after, then? Eh? You want to know what's amiss with Derstwida's work? Huh. One of the guild's newer faces, are you? All these whelps training under the Hananza got their heads filled with daft bloody notions of cooperation and camaraderie, when what they should be learning is how to use a pair of pliers. I've yet to meet one of her novices that could forge an ingot worth a damn. And them as ain't got the skill ain't worth my time. Which means you, girl, a bugger off. Not budging here? Wearisome wench. Alright then. Tell you what. I'll give you one chance to prove yourself. Let's see you craft the same pieces as your friend made such a meal of. A decorated bronze barber and a bronze buckler. And if they're half decent, we'll have ourselves a nice little chat. This is why I don't like armor. There's so many prerequisite craft. It's still better than Culinarian, though. Culinarian is the one that I want to do the least. Although, honestly, it is kind of tied with Alchemist. Alchemist and Culinarian are both pains, just for the amount of materials. Yeah, man. So, okay, how many do I need? I need one of each. Where's the buckler? Am I just blind? Oh no, there it is. Okay. So I need 2 plates. 1 bronze and 1 iron rivet. Okay. Then I need copper. Make some iron, because I'm going to need it. I could just go and grab some stuff from my retainers, but I'm being lazy. Which is a little bit weird to say, given the fact I'm actively crafting more stuff. It's easier to just craft the things myself than to run all the way back to a retainer. Every fucking time. I have. I have a bronze buckler and a bronze barber, or do you specifically need them to be low quality? Oh no, it's because it's specifically the decorated. I see. Okay, so I need copper and brass. That's why. Bring me a bit of a... Back at last, are you? I was beginning to think you'd crawled off to Uldar to buy the damn things from a back alley peddler. Any road, let's have a look, shall we? True, that is still an option, to just buy the stuff. Fuck at me, are you sure you made these yourself? Huh, seems at least one of Nanza's to whelps knows different twixt hammer and sledge. Builder, take me, you got some talent. This barber, well, shows character of your work. Precise and uncompromising as it should be. You've realised that forging in an elm ain't a matter of slapping a few moulded sheets of bronze together. Nice. And your buckler's just as good. Small and light, but a damn sight sturdier than shields twice the size. Didn't expect to be saying this, but I'm impressed. With this level of quality and polish, you could make a tidy living for yourself as an artisan. But you're the exception that proves the rule, lass. Fact is, the other novices ain't fit to lick your boots, Dresweeder included. So you tell her this from me. If you've the time to wallow in wounded tears, you've the time to examine your own mistakes. There's no room in this world for craftsmen as can't criticise their own handiwork. So learn how to gauge your failings and correct them, or hang up your bloody hammer. Or hang up my bloody hammer. Well, thanks for passing on Blandsteer's advice. I believe I understand what he means to say. But not everyone has the inner fortitude to endure such criticism, be it from oneself or from others. If such strength is required to master the armourer's art, mayhap I have mistaken my calling. I joined the guild with the dream of following in Hernanz's footsteps. I see now that was folly. I'll have to think long and hard about my aspirations. Please convey my apologies to the Forge Master for the delay. Ah, so it was Blandsteer that caused this mess. Old bastard always did take it upon himself to weed out the weaker initiates. We're not exactly on the best of terms, he and I, even after all this time. I've known Blandsteer since we were naught but wide-eyed novices, serving our apprenticeships under the same master. We always had our differences, but when our master retired, they became that much more stark. When we both put ourselves forward for the role of Forge Master, the resultant contest drove a permanent wedge between us. Blandsteer's arguments are not entirely without merit, but neither is his approach the only way to train new armourers. That damnable curmudgeon, though, it's his way or no way at all. The idea of nurturing aught less than God's given talent is anathema to him, and his ears wax deaf at the mere mention of it. But outfitting an army is the work of more than a talented few. It's the work of many hands acting in unison. I've turned a blind eye to Blandsteer's behaviour until now, but if he'd threaten the unity of this guild, something must needs be done. I'll think on it. How fare you? Have you had any further dealings with Blandsteer? If so, or do Opa's bowels not begun to wear away at your better judgment? Lest you think me unjust, I do not dispute his skill with an hammer. I merely take issue with the lack of respect he shows to those he deems inferior. He's responsible for breaking the spirits of more than a few novice armourers, and our ranks suffer for it. But I cannot in good conscience remove his name from the register. For all his flaws, Blandsteer's knowledge and experience would be too great a loss. Instead, I must find a way to soften the old buzzard's stance. And for that, I require your assistance. He'll not unfold his thoughts to me, but mayhap he will to you. Don't look so surprised. You're one of the few armourers in this place whom he wouldn't see cast out. He may possess all the charm of a rabid curl, but he does have a fine eye for talent, and an appreciation for well-crafted goods. Take him one of your best iron hot blondes, and I dare say he'll share his thoughts with you. I should warn you though, Smurlwibs informed me we scarcely have sufficient iron plate to cover our existing commissions, so you'll have to look elsewhere. Hawker's Alley will almost certainly have what you need, well there's always the option of mining it yourself. Either way, I apologise for putting you to additional trouble. One last thing, I want you to meld materia to the finished shield. That should get the old sod's attention. Your vacant stare does not inspire confidence. In brief, materia is the crystallised essence of a well-worn piece of equipment. Such crystals are attached to other gear to enhance various properties. If you'd know more, you should consider paying Mutamix a visit at his camp in central Thanlan. He'll teach you about the process of enhancing equipment using materia. Oh, and he's a goblin. Now, the shield you craft must embody all the knowledge and skill you've gained thus far. The sight of it should serve to convince Blandsteer you're a like-minded soul, and prompt him to speak to you as such. Good luck. May the builder guide your hand. Yeah, about that. So it's an iron hoplon, which just needs elm and a couple of plates, which I could craft now. So, elm. You don't have it. You don't have it. Okay. Do I already have it? No. Someone does sell it. This is honestly just going to be quicker. What? Oh, I accidentally pressed the button. Yeah, you don't have it. Okay. It's probably Gridania, isn't it? The carpenter. There they are. No. I don't remember who sells elm, apparently. Okay. Okay. This is one of the times when having a plugin that tells you the locations of the merchants that sell stuff can be kind of helpful. I don't care about paying. It's fine. Because I'm going to need to get the materia I need anyway. Has he said a specific one? I don't think they said a specific materia. Nice and easy. Oh yeah, I have to go and see the... yeah. That's a point. Stick those on. What do you want? Nan's having you run errands again. What's this? Brought me a shield, have you? With materia. Impressive, but don't imagine a bit of materia is enough to make up for shoddy workmanship. I ain't the kind to be blinded by sparklies, lass. Let's have a closer look. Bugger me. This is when they make the step up from bronze to iron that the weaker craftsmen start to show limitations. The metal being a damn sight harder to shape, all manner of flaws creep into the work. There ain't a single bleeding one in this shield. Your hammer blows were steady and measured. And you've kept the thickness of the iron nice and even too. No bugger wants their shield splitting in half because the armour beat a bit of the plate too thin. Fine piece of work, this. Damn fine. That's twice you passed me inspection now. I'm convinced you've the kind of skill as demands respect, lass. So, as one artisan to another, let me ask you a question. What are your thoughts on Shenanza handling of the guild? No, you ain't been with us for long, but you must have wondered what she was playing at, am I right? If you ask me, the soft-hearted wench is polluting the damn place with blundering amateurs, what her armour is in naught but name. An armourer crafts gear as keeps men alive. If you lack the skill or the experience to make armourers will do that job, you've no business holding a hammer. Just imagine what would happen if a breastplate made by one of them lackwits fell apart in battle. Not just to the poor bastard wearing it, neither. I'm talking about what would become of the guild's good name. Wait, Nanza entrusts these novices with the real craftsman's work. She's spitting in the face of the builder. Only a tried and true armourer should be taking on orders and dealing with valued patrons. By refusing to get rid of the dregs, Nanza's dampening the flames in her forges. Forge master my arse. How can she be so bloody blind? Well, you seem lovely, don't you? Real charmer. Ah, there you are. Tell me, were you able to prize anything useful out of Blandsteer? What did he have to say? Dampening the flames in the forges. A familiar refrain. A stubborn old sod will never understand why his way's doomed to fail. Not that he's ever even thought to question it. If we choose not to pass on our knowledge, all of the techniques and methods we've perfected over God knows how long are destined to perish along with us. Blandsteer bemoans the dampening of our forge's flames, while advocating a course which would see them extinguished altogether. And that is why I'll continue to expose all of our initiates to as many facets of the craft as I can. until such time as I die or am replaced. I may add that you yourself stand as a shining example of how effective this approach can be. I'll not force the issue, but you'd make the perfect champion for my cause. That said, Blandsteer's apparently come to much the same conclusion. He submitted an order what asks for you by name. Orders for a single steel ingot. Being the difficult bastard he is, he doesn't want just any steel ingot. He wants an ingot of the purest steel, and that will require extra effort on your part. Well, I'll not keep you any longer. You've work to do and a cantankerous artisan to impress. In order to make steel, I need bomb ashes, don't I? Yeah, I do. I'm pretty sure I have those. Yeah. Bomb ashes. Katya. You here to deliver that ingot, lass? Ain't one for idle chit-chat. Huh. Weight feels right. Let's head inside and have a look, huh? Huh. Knew you were up to the task, lass. Can't forge steel much purer than that. It's a common enough material, of course. One no self-respecting armourer should have any trouble working. But it's the quality of these common materials that makes the difference between crafting a workaday piece and a masterpiece. No matter how shiny you polish it, your work will never be more mediocre if the stuff you make it from is second rate. Any road, I can see you've already learned that lesson. I swear, every time our paths cross, you're twice the armourer you was before. And yet Nan says a talented lass like yourself tidying up after a bungling bloody novices, instead of giving you the freedom to master your craft. Makes me blood boil, it does. If our guild's to survive, it's got to be able to serve its customers' needs. Any buggerers don't contribute to keeping the roof over our heads don't deserve to work under it. I've naught but respect for you. You're the kind of armourer this guild needs more of. But tell me true, are you really content to waste your career wiping the arses of Nanza's squabbling babes? Your talent's being buried under a mountain of mediocrity. It's high time you did something about it. As to what, well, that's for you to decide. Ah, the woman whose name's on everyone's lips. In case you didn't know, the entire guild seems to be holding its breath, waiting to see which side you'll come down on. The popular opinion is that you're ready to take up with Blandsteer. I've no such concerns, of course. Had you resolved to distance yourself from me, we'd not be having this conversation. But that does not change the fact your allegiance remains a subject of public debate, one which threatens the unity of the guild. I propose you dispel our colleagues' unfounded anxiety by demonstrating your affiliation in a matter that none may doubt or dispute. Specifically, I would have you accept the commission of a valued client on my behalf. That, I think, would serve as proof of both my faith in you and of your support for the guild's present course. Tell me, how would you like to try your hand at crafting a suit of steel chainmail? The order comes from a resident of Costa del Sol, an extremely wealthy and discerning gentleman who will accept nothing less than the finest quality armour. As you may imagine, his patronage is of great value to the guild, and need hardly add that I'd not entrust this commission to an armourer in whom I had aught less than the utmost faith. The client's maidservant, Northwib, will supply you with the finer details of the order. She should be here in the city, conducting business at the Fisherman's Guild as we speak. I think I can get Velveteen from the Tradecraft person. No. Not me second guessing how undyed is spelled. No, you didn't see anything. My brain isn't really on right now. So it's just crafting. Yeah. Greetings and salutations. What an honour it is to meet another of Limsa Laminta's famed artisans. I'm sorry, a commission? Oh dear, there seems to be some confusion. I've already entrusted my master's commission to a veteran craftsman of your esteemed organisation. You are acquainted with Blandsteer? His reputation precedes him, you see, and I saw little reason to doubt that a man of his experience should be assigned the task. Oh, but I did not mean to suggest that you... I merely sought to justify my own misapprehension. Regrettable though this situation may be, I would hesitate to shame your colleague by stripping him of his commission, given all the sterling work he's done for us in the past, I mean. Yet I can well imagine you are loath to return to your superior empty-handed. Assuming the finished armour is of exceptional quality, my master will provide full remuneration, regardless of the hand that forges the links. Mayhap it would be best for all concerned if you discuss the matter with your fellow armourer. Well, if it ain't Nanza's lapdog. I heard about your little show of allegiance. Suppose Northwib told you I snatched that commission from right under your nose, did she? Heh, seems we've got ourselves a thorny little predicament, don't it? Well, I ain't about to hand the job back to you on a silver bleeding platter, but that don't mean I want you to give up neither. Don't you see, this is a perfect chance to find out who's the better armourer, to see which of us has walked the right and proper path. Talking about a contest of skill, girl. Whichever of us crafts the finest suit of chainmail gets the job. But remember, this bloke pays good coin for a reason. He wants the best. And he ain't about to settle for less. Not that he'll have to, of course. Your armour would need to be bloody flawless to be better than mine. So our mate will be getting his money's worth whatever happens. once you're ready, bring your armor back here and we'll lay it out next to mine. We've both got our pride, so I reckon we can judge the results fairly for ourselves. Now bugger off. Constantly pressing the wrong fucking buttons. Okay, yeah, so I need to make some steel. How many rings? 3. Hey Scott, how you doing? It goes alright. How's Pal World treating you? Probably get it from a single craft, but just make sure. Well, pressure too much for you, lass, or have you finally finished putting that chainmail together? You've mostly been building, but it's fun. I can imagine, given how much you enjoy the, like, housing element of 15, and not 15, 14, that yeah, you'd get lost in the base building a bit. I have gotten lost on the getting down the technology tree and trying to find decent pals. So I think I'm crafting with plasteel or pal steel. No, plasteel, because it's plastic steel. Which needs crude oil. I do not have access to crude oil yet. But that didn't stop me from getting a laser rifle. Playing solo, yeah. At least for the time being. But it also means I can, like, I've ramped up how many resources you get from each gather, and reduced how much it weighs and stuff in the world settings, because if you're playing by yourself, just trying to get enough coal in order to get to the point that you can farm coal from your base is a fucking lot. Yeah. Right then, let's have a look, shall we? A Byrogot's beard. Where'd you learn to forge links like that? It's bloody perfect. Ralgr himself would struggle to stick a dagger through that steel. And look at that luster. Strength and beauty in equal goddamn measure. Nanza should be praising the builder for dropping a gift like yourself in her lap. You won fair and square. I'll not bother to lecture you no more. I'll take your beauteous bloody chainmail to Nortwib myself and let her know who it was that crafted it. It's an old tradition amongst us armourers, in case you didn't know. Loser of these contests gets the job of delivering the victor's goods. Ah, gloat while you can, lass. You just joined Nanza at the top of my list. This ain't over. Not by a long shot. You did have a dedicated server, retro and crisp versions of passives that will once maxed, condensed, make or weigh nothing. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple of Christ. I don't think I have any Reptiro, though. I have a couple of Christ versions of stuff, and there's a few Mons that just have that, like, without it being specific versions. There's like the Moly one that's very common. I think they have that. If not, the one that's got like a it's like a jellyfish, but with a helmet. Yeah. You're breeding Jetragons too. You have over 54 eggs. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm not that far. I have a big baby blue dragon that is my flying mount. Then I have the Fire Howl, Flame Howl as my main land mount. Stuff like that. Condenser fodder, yeah. Actually, before I get into that, I'm gonna pop to the toilet real quick. I'll be right back. It's always worrying when you start smelling smoke. But someone's just kicked up the barbecue. But when you're inside and you're not expecting to smell any kind of smoke, sort of sets you into panic stations a little bit. No, not wood smoke specifically is what it smells like. Not burnt toast. Although I do... My office has like a little cafe that does toasties and stuff at the entrance. And every so often they burn the toast. And I swear to fucking God that there's not enough ventilation in that room or something, because the smell is pungent. And it always makes me second guess whether or not I need to be worried. Because you get in the elevator and the smell is so strong that when people get out the elevator, you can still get like a faint whiff of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not great. Greetings. A word you bested Blandsteer in an armorer's contest of skill. An impressive feat, and one with which you should be proud. But I'm afraid you've made a most troublesome enemy. He's both persistent and vindictive, as you well know. I speak from bitter experience on that matter. Rather than dwell on this unpleasant rivalry, however, I'd have you focus on your craft. Ready your hammer and pliers. There's much and more to do. Master Lingsath over at the Bismarck's commissioned a new steel frying pan. And as one might expect, the head of the Culinarians Guild, he accepts only the finest of wares. Now, compared to pounding out thick protective plates of armor, cooking utensils, being generally smaller and lighter, require a somewhat more delicate touch. You must bring all your concentration to bear, lest you risk ruining the entire piece with a single misplaced blow. In light of recent events, which have no doubt left your mind scattered, I believe a task that fully engages your faculties will prove beneficial. Let's not keep Master Lingsaith waiting after. To the forge with you. So that one's the bomb. There's a steel skillet, not a steel fry pan. Then there's a white skillet. There's the fry pan. Okay, so I need one steel plate and some oak lumber. Alright. You know that Gwyd wants to get back into Power World soon too. Oh. Might be something that we can all play together a little bit. That might be nice. Oak is restricted, which means it's gonna be the Exile. I think the last time I properly played with you guys was... Well, for Gwyd, it was Night Rain. Obviously, occasionally we will run dungeons. Or bullshit whilst I'm streaming, but it's not quite the same. What was it that I needed again? Oak. I should really look up what else do I need? I'm gonna need Curious. Which doesn't need anything. Nah, fuck it. We'll deal with it when we come to it. Where's that fry pan? It is true you're no longer some rank novice. Do not think your posterior safe from the toe of my boot if you choose to dither and dally. Don't threaten me with a good time. Truly, another consummate work. Can find no flaw with its weight or balance. It's not so heavy as to be a struggle to lift, yet it remains sturdy enough to endure the frantic pace of the Bismarck's kitchens. I trust at this juncture that you comprehend in full my earlier warning. To produce a fry pan of this quality would most certainly have required your undivided attention, and I can tell this item received just that. The consistency of the metal's thickness is all the evidence one needs. This type of precision should not be undervalued. In this case, should the fry pan be poorly forged, the heat of its cooking surface will be uneven, and such flaws are unacceptable to an exacting culinarian such as Master Linksaith. Even the sturdiest of utensils, however, rarely last him more than a few seasons. It's a struggle to find armourers who can meet his demanding specifications when he turns to our guild for replacements. I'd long intended to assign this commission to you, but your encounter with Blandsteer had me doubting your ability to concentrate. This is one of those rare occasions when I'm happy to be proven wrong. Your uncompromising attention to detail continues to be an inspiration to your colleagues. And speaking of details, there's one that remains untended, delivering this fry pan into Master Linksaith's hands. I trust you do not need directions to the Culinarians Guild? Come to live in my new fry pan, have you? Well, now, ain't she a beauty? With this pan, I'll be able to whipple up all sorts of dishes and not fret about burning the middle or undercooking the edges. You say this was your work? Only the Forge Master herself's ever been able to make utensils what I'd consider worthy of the Bismarck. Seems like I've finally got me another craftswoman I can trust. You're welcome in my kitchen any time, lass. Oh. I hope you're feeling competitive. The Blandsteer submitted a formal challenge. Seems he means to recover the pride you cost him with your previous victory. He is as an overgrown, sulky child who sees his fellow colleagues as naught more than rivals. In his tiny world, all that matters is who's the best, who's the brightest, and who's the most able to provide immediate value to the guild. Now, I'd be lying if I said I did not also take such factors into account. You well know my demand for excellence, but the methods we take to reach it differ vastly. Landsteer would run a guild of exclusion, one in which an adventurer like yourself would have been unwelcome. The lack of sense in that is clear. He may be my equal in skill and technique, but it is this narrow perspective that weighed the balance against him in our contest for the Guildmaster's chair. I won, and he lost. That simple fact plays an enormous role in the enmity that now lies between us. And I'm certain that past defeat is no small part of what fuels Landsteer's present desire to prove himself your better. I regret that this ridiculous feud's drawn you into its bitter maw, but if it means seeing that stubborn old dodo put in his place, then I'm just childish enough myself to encourage you to accept. Landsteer awaits you in his usual haunt. Go to him and show you've the steel to pick up the gauntlet he's thrown down. I've had just about enough of Hansa's coddling ways. She's raising a generation of slackjaws what look like armourers but ain't fit to wipe the soot from a proper craftsman's backside. Before you know it, folks will start losing trust in the trade itself. Years of pride and tradition are crumbling to dust around our feet. Of course, ever since you bested me in our little competition, my words don't carry the weight they once did. Seems like I've got to take you down a few pegs before I can start putting things aright. Aye, the world needs to know that old Landsteer is not to be beaten by one of Hansa's lot, even if it were a prize pup. We'll settle this the old-fashioned way, a 3-round contest of skill. There ain't no point in dragging this out, so let's get straight to the challenge for the first round. The finest mithril cuirass you can forge. Since I'll be choosing the tasks, we'll leave the appraisal of our work to your precious forge master. I'll be taking my armour to her directly. Once you've shown Nanza your own cuirass and heard her decision, you bring the piece to me so I can see for myself. Alright, well, I have mithril plate. I don't have any rings. Should have some electrum though, yeah. I'm not seeing any plates, so I guess they must be on Sundrop. I really do need to sort their glams out some more. While I'm here, I can craft the next couple of things as well. Yeah. Oh no, rivets, not rings. Okay, what's next is reinforced mithril elmo. Which means I need to make a mithril elmo. Which needs a rivet. And boar leather. Should have boar leather. No? Do I not? I do not. But I do have boar hide. Okay, one moment whilst we pivot to Leatherworker. Okay, now I need to make that into a reinforced one, which needs another pieced leather. You know what? Just make a few of them. I might need them. One sec. Okay. What was it doing? I need pieced leather. There we go. And the last one is some mithril solarettes. Okay, so I need... at least I have a use for the ring that I made by accident. How many more have I got left of the Armorer's quests? Yeah. Well, we're not done with the Realm Reborn yet. We are currently... The best of 3 is the level 40 quest. I'm crafting the level 45 quest mats now. The level 51 I don't think's too bad. I think it's just a piece of cobalt with a specific materia on it. Okay, so now I need old goat leather, which... Do I have any? Or do I not have it because you can buy that one? Aren't you? No? Oh, okay. Do I have old goat skin? Probably not, because that one you can just buy. And I basically got rid of anything you could just buy. Is it bad that you just buy them off the market board? Nah, it's a perfectly, like, valid way of doing it. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Not the right person. What's up, sweetheart? Hmm? What is it? Why are you yelling at me once again? You know what? Fuck it, since we're here. The Harbinger? Yeah. Cobalt rings. Okay, get me my cobalt. He says... Not entirely sure. Where his cobalt is. It's not respiratory. Search. After has it. Okay.
What? What, sweet baby? Hmm? You just like knowing that you can have my attention?
Let me go and I'm gonna go and turn a toy on, maybe. To be fair, I've not emptied her litter tray today. No, she might just be yelling at me that she wants that emptied. Right, Cobalt. Okay. So, Cobalt rings. And then I need some undyed felt, which I can't be asked fucking about with. I might have to. Oh, shit. Oh, no, 'cause that's annoying to don't wanna. I don't wanna. I could check Universalis, but it's fine. Yeah, that'll work. Oh yeah, then I need... Heaven's Eye 3. Hey, Gwyd. How you doing? There we go. That's the next 3 quests sorted. So, that's all of the Aroma Reborn ones, which is probably as much as I'm going to get done today. Because I'm getting a little bit of a headache. And I still have to raid after this. Blandsteer's already been here to submit his work for appraisal. You have a mithril cuirass prepared as well, I trust? This is superb craftsmanship. Seems the pressures of this challenge have done naught to cloud your eye for detail. In fact, you may have produced your finest piece yet. It is superior to Blandsteer's in every respect. You think me biased? Yeah, it's true that I despise that self-centered windbag, but I mean to judge this contest fairly. The Rugadin's armor was indeed forged with his customary quality. But it is thus that the brilliance of your cuirass shines all the more brightly for improving on the work of a master artisan. Mithril is a notoriously difficult material to shape, yet see the gloss of these plates, not a single imperfection to mar the surface. I've cast an eye over many a suit of armor, but it's refreshing to know that I can still be impressed. The first round goes to you. I only wish I could be there to see Blandsteer weep when you show him the masterpiece you've created. Take a water break, finish early if I gotta. Oh, I can finish up the Arum Reborn quests, and then I'll call it there and have some water and lie down before the raid. So, Nanza chose your armor over mine, did she? Surprise, surprise. Come then, pup. Let's see this bloody work of art. Huh, well, you've not been neglecting your craft, that much is certain. Can't rightly disagree with her decision, but the next round will be a different story, you can be sure of that. I hear you, baby, but I don't know what's up. Why are you behind me? What is it? Okay. Landsteers notified me of the challenge of the second round of your contest. Defeating the first rounds humbled him not a whit, it seems. You may have gained an early lead, but keep your focus sharp. As I've said before, complacency can be your downfall, and a man like Blandsteer is at the most dangerous when his pride's on the line. Now, according to the wishes of our vindictive veteran, for this next round you're to craft several items, and you must do so within a reasonable time frame to reflect the pressures of an actual commission. He fails to mention what he considers to be reasonable, so I suggest you work with dispatch. The challenge requires you to forge a pair of mithril-plated caligae, a reinforced mithril elmo, and a pair of mithril solarets, all of the finest possible quality. Naturally, every one of these items requires an abundance of mithril ore. See how he deliberately chooses the same material as before? Such is Blandsteer's confidence in his ability, and his certitude that he cannot be beaten twice under similar conditions. This is your chance to unravel the obnoxious self-assurance of his, and end this contest with a second round victory. If anyone can quench the fury of that insufferable Oryx, it's you. Bring your submissions to me once you're satisfied with your forging. Take no shortcuts. I expect to see armor of unsurpassed quality. Boots. Welder's mask. More boots. Well done, Arthur. Your work is flawless. I declare you victor this very moment, except I need you to relinquish this armor to the guild. As for the why, it concerns a potential dire loss of trust and reputation. Do you recall the time you aided one of our novices with an order of bronze hoplons? Well, I'm afraid young Swithin's failed to deliver once more. He has improved much in his craft, spurred on as he was by your example. But again, the lad accepted a commission he could never hope to honour. One does not break a promise made to the Maelstrom. I could drop full responsibility for this failure onto Swithin's unreliable shoulders and cast him out the guild. But what worth is a guild that does not support its own members when they truly need it? Blandsteer's a harsh man, but not entirely without reason. If you explain the circumstances, he may grant you a few extra days to forge your submission anew. What say you? Will you yield your work to the guild? Hierogot's blessings upon you. Swithin, come over here and show some gratitude. Don't know how to repay you for saving my neck yet again. I'll never forgive myself if it costs you your victory over Blandsteer. But the compassion you and the Forge Master have shown me this day will not be squandered. This I promise you. I'll work 3 times even. We're in your debt. I'll arrange to have these pieces delivered to the Maelstrom Quartermasters immediately. Meanwhile, you should hurry over to Blandsteer and explain the delay in your submission. I mean, why not just have Blandsteer come here and look at them and then say that they're going to the Maelstrom? What's this now? You let the guild have your armor to make up a missed order. What'd I tell you? Those fumble-fingered parasites are holding you back at every turn. You was meant to honour the terms of our contest, no matter the circumstances. Now you've neither the gear you crafted to show for your effort, nor the time to forge a new submission. This round goes to me. I grant you this ain't the kind of victory a man looks for, but rules is rules. And failure comes with consequences. So I don't want to hear no excuses for the final round. You just bring your best work to the table and we'll let the results stand for themselves. Yeah, you're just a bit of a cunt for not having any real wiggle room. But also, Nans is an idiot for not just being like, okay, well, get him to come here and look at it, but make it clear that we need it. Must thank you again for sacrificing your time and effort to help our guild with that order for the Maelstrom. It behooves us not to fail clients such as they, no matter the reason. But, as is our fate, we're rarely afforded a respite from the flames of the Forge. You're running to a Pokemon Go raid. Probably going to miss the end. Good luck in the raid. Thank you very much, Scott. Good luck with your Pokemon going. I've recently been informed that Admiral Merlwyb will be inspecting various organisations, our own Armourers Guild included, and their roles in promoting Limsa trade with the East. The impressions made during this inspection will have a direct influence on whom the Maelstrom chooses as the provider of its equipment and other sundry supplies. Blandsteer, in his usual arrogant manner, has proposed we seize this opportunity to have the Admiral herself serve as arbiter for the final round of your contest. Imagine how that bastard would crow if you were to suffer defeat before the commander of Limsa Grand Company. The credence such a public failure would lend to his arguments would spell the end of the guild as we know it. You must not allow this to come to pass. Success in this third and final challenge hinges on your ability to forge what might need to be the most exquisite cobalt haubergeon in the realm. And as you'd expect, it's one of the most demanding pieces of armour a student of our discipline can attempt. While I harbour not the slightest doubt that you'll produce a haubergeon of surpassing quality, let us tip the scales in your favour by augmenting it with materia. A Heaven's Eye materia of the 3rd grade should do the trick. Once your armour is complete, deliver it to Sergeant Zwernberg at Hawker's Round, and he'll see it passed along to the Admiral. Afterburn? Ah, you have the Cobalt Haubergeon for me then. Not due to keep Admiral Merlwyb waiting. Consider your submission accepted. I think you'll enjoy the Admiral's methods of appraisal. Is she gonna shoot it? I kinda hope she shoots it. After, Blandsteer. This, the final round of your contest, will decide victory or defeat. May the best armourer win. Or is it just having two people fight? Admiral, who are these gentlemen? Where are the mannequins? I find little can be learned from insipidly lifeless models, so I've decided to take a different tact. My men here will wear your armor as submissions instead. I see. Do you intend them to take on varying poses for your inspection? In a manner of speaking. We wish to determine the quality of the armor, do we not? I prefer the direct approach. Viragot's beard! What kind of appraisal is this? You really that surprised, Nanza? No finer way to test your gear than in the heat of battle. That's not testing. Using flesh and blood warriors is hardly necessary. What of the risks of injury? My armor was built to withstand far worse than this. If those blokes get hurt by them oversized hatchets, I got no business being here. You agree on that score, don't you? Well, well, it appears your claims to excellence are more than empty boasts. Let's raise the stakes, shall we? Admiral, you go too far! Such expensive equipment is of little use to us if it cannot stop a bullet. Unless you think me reckless, my men were never in any real danger. I quite carefully inspected the sturdiness of both haubergeons before we began. You are not the only one with an eye for quality, dear Forge Master. In any case, it appears we have a winner. I don't believe it. The shot punched through my links. What's so damn different between your armor and mine? Perhaps the reason you cannot answer the question, Armourer, is the reason you just lost to your colleague. Bloody hells. This was a most educational and entertaining experience. When the Maelstrom next finds itself in need of replacement equipment, I believe I know just the sort of armourer to whom we shall return. Congratulations. It was a close contest, but you've struck a telling blow here today nonetheless. The question is, does Blandsteer yet realise his folly? It would be best for you to seek him out to learn where we now stand. Is he back in his usual spot? Yes. Gonna see me beaten and broken, have you? You made a bloody fool out of me. I mean, you did that. Take responsibility for your own actions. I made a fool out of myself. I was just too thick-headed stubborn to see it coming. Oh, okay, he actually did. Nice. I reckon I ought to steer clear of guild business for a time. Get me some distance to think on all this. But you tell that RP Nanza that she better not let this place fall to pieces. I'll still be watching. Felt very like Blandsteer to have the last word. At least now he seems to have grasped the idea that his way is not as absolute as he believed. After all, the greatest source of innovation is found in our connection with others. For instance, did you know that kobold was the original pronunciation of cobalt? It was through trade with those beastmen miners we first encountered and subsequently refined the use of cobalt ore. Without such contact, it's unlikely the armor you forged for the last round of your contest would even exist today. There's only so much an armorer can achieve on her own. It's mutual respect, and a healthy dose of friendly rivalry that truly spurs the improvement of a craft. Blandsteer's gravest mistake was to see his rivals as enemies. By walling himself off from his peers, he denied himself the knowledge of techniques which you were grateful enough to receive. His defeat was inevitable. And it was your determination and skill that taught him the dangers of stagnation. You embody everything I stand for, and the guild is richer for your presence. This concludes the armor quests for the final... Don't care. Cool. Well, that is going to be where we call it for today, because, yeah, I need to take a water break, and then get set up for raid. So, thank you guys very, very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for more Persona 3. Have a good one. Later.